Hello friends, welcome to our YouTube channel Code 369, and we are going to see JavaScript algorithms and data structures, and this is full stack development course, and today class 56. The website in which we are learning JavaScript algorithms and data structures is freecodecamp. Okay, this is a self-learning platform and you can learn by yourself, and I highly recommend you to learn by yourself. Okay, I highly recommend you to do self-learning because self-learning is the best way of learning. But if you are having any clarifications or doubt, you can come to my lectures and you can watch it. Okay, that is also fine. So now we are going to see ES6. Okay, so far we have completed basic JavaScript. So now we are going to see ES6. Okay, so get into ES6. Compare scopes of the where and let keywords. Okay, in the basic JavaScript itself we have discussed the scope of let, where and constant. Okay, what is local scope, what is global scope. Okay, so I hope you will be knowing it better, but again I am telling you that is not a problem. Okay, let me explain you. For example, here I will be explaining you. Okay, this is a block. Okay, it can be anything, for example for loop or if or while or anything. Okay, so just this is a block, that is what you have to understand here. What I'm doing is I'm declaring let I equal to 5. Okay, and I'm declaring where u equal to 10. Okay, and then const f equal to 15. Okay, then what I'm going to do is I'm going to print all these variables. For example, console.log of I u f. Okay, so let us reassign it. Okay, so I'm making where comes at first. Okay, where comes at first and let second and const third. Okay, and I'm changing this also. For example, I'm making u comes at first. So what is the output you can see here? I have declared u variable with the var keyword and I have assigned 10. Now I am displaying it outside the block. Okay, this is the block and I am displaying it outside the block. So the output is 10. It is showing the output. Okay, but I'm just deleting this. But I am trying to display the variable I. Okay, but it is showing reference error I is not defined. Okay, using the variable which I used with let keyword. Okay, and for f also you can see I have declared the variable with the const keyword. Here outside of the block I am trying to display it, but it shows reference error f is not defined. So what you can understand from here is, okay, what you can understand is whenever we are using var keyword inside the block, okay, inside the block, it can also be used or accessed outside the block. Okay, so var, the variable which is declared using the var keyword, can be accessed from anywhere. Okay, outside the block also. But when the variable is declared using let and const keyword, the variables cannot be accessed outside the block. Okay. So always remember this. And when a variable can be accessed outside the block also, it is called as global scope. Okay. And when the variable cannot be accessed outside the block, it is called as local scope. That is it. Okay. That is what explained in all these exercises. Okay, in all these examples. Okay, so reset all code. So what they have told here is this exercise is designed to illustrate the difference between how var and let keywords assigned. So what they have told is here they have used var keyword, okay, and declared I, and inside the block, okay, inside the block also they have used the variable of I, okay. So some problem will be arising because this is having the same variable name, and here also this is also having the same variable name. Okay, even if it is inside the block, even if it is inside the block, the data will be changed, okay, because I is here outside the block, I is inside the block. Even if it is inside the block, the value for the I will be changed, okay, so it will be causing problems. So what we can do is we can use let keyword for I, okay, so it will become a local scope variable. So this I cannot be accessed outside, okay, so for this and this there is no connection, okay. The variable of I which is declared using var keyword and the variable of I which is declared using let keyword will not be having any connection, okay. So because this is a global scope variable and this is a local scope variable, okay, so there will not be any problem. So that's it. And also what they are insisting us to do is whenever we are declaring variables inside the block, what we have to do is we have to use let and const keyword, okay. So that is what the main concept here, okay. Press Ctrl Enter. So it shows error. Uh, Let me read the exercise again and I will be doing it. So they want us to make us know the difference, okay. So here also I will be declaring this I using let. So even this I which is declared using the let keyword will not be having any connection with the with the I variable which is declared using let, okay. So these two variables will not be having any connection. This I will be having function scope and this I will be having block scope, okay. That is what they are saying. Press Ctrl Enter. Mutate an array declared with const. Okay, so what they are saying is, here you can see the this lines. Okay, however, it is important to understand that objects assigned to a variable using constant, okay, using const keyword, are still mutable. Okay, what they are saying is, even if we have declared the variable using const keyword, it is still mutable. That is what they are saying. It can still be changed. Using the const declaration only prevents reassignment of the value variable identifier. Okay, so what they are saying is, even if we use const, okay, even if we are using const keyword, it is still mutable. That is what they are saying. So how to do it? An array is declared as const s equal to 572. Change the array to 257 using various element assignments. And another important thing is, you cannot change it like this by directly giving the variable name. Okay, by directly giving the variable name and giving the array. That is not possible. Okay, that is not possible. But what you can do is, you can give the index number for particular elements, and you can give the value, and you can change the value. So now we are going to change the values 572 to 257. Okay, so how we have to do it? We have to give the variable name, and we have to give the index, and we have to change the value. So for three values we have to change. So index of 0, index of 1, index of 2. And what are those values? 2, 5, 7. Press Ctrl Enter. Now we are going to see prevent object mutation. Okay. So how to prevent object mutation? Object mutation is nothing but changing the object. So how to prevent it? What they have said here is, as seen in the previous challenge, const declaration alone does not really protect your data from mutation. So what they have introduced is object.freeze, okay, to prevent data mutation. So here in this example we can see they have declared an object and they have given name is freecodecamp and review is awesome. And next what they have done is object.freeze of obj. Object.freeze is a method and obj is the name of the object. So what they have done here is, they have freezed this object, and again they have changed the value. For example, obj.review equal to bad. So whether the value will be changed or not? No. So why it is not changing? Because they have used object.freeze. Okay, and in the output for obj.review and obj.newProp, it will be showing error. Okay, the value cannot be changed. So if you have to make your object unchangeable, what you have to do is, you have to use object.freeze. So that is what we are going to learn now. In this challenge, you are going to use object.freeze to prevent mathematical constants from changing. You need to freeze the math constants object. So no one will be able to alter the value of pi, add or delete properties. Okay. So we are going to freeze this. They have given here, only change the code below this line. So what we are going to do is, they have declared math constants object, okay? So now we have to freeze it. Now how to do it? Object dot freeze, and we have to give the object name. So what is the object name? Math constants. That's it. Now we are going to see arrow functions to write concise anonymous functions. Okay, there is a short way of writing function in ES6, and let us see how it works. For example, here what they have done is, this is a normal function. So how we will be writing a normal function? Using function keyword, and we will be giving function name, and we will be having brackets and then curly braces. Like this we will be writing function. There is another way in old JavaScript, and another way is we can declare a variable, okay, like function variable, anything, okay, any name. We can declare a variable, and what we can do is, we can give function bracket curly brace. Like this also you can declare a function, okay, you can use a function. But in modern JavaScript ES6, what we can do is, there is a function called arrow function, okay, this is called arrow function, and by this we can write our function in a short way. So how to write? First we have to declare the function name, okay, by a variable. So we will be using we will be declaring a variable. We will be declaring a variable, and we will be giving equal to. Then we will be having brackets, and then we will be having arrow. So how to write arrow? You have to give equal to and less than operator. Greater than operator, okay? And there will be the block, like our usual function. So parameters will be coming inside this square bracket, okay? Inside the square bracket parameters will be coming. So that's it. So this is what arrow function is. So rewrite, I have to reset all the code. Rewrite the function assigned to a variable magic which returns a new date to user arrow function syntax. Also make sure nothing is defined using the keyword where, okay? So we should change this function to arrow function. So how to do it? And what they have said is, we should not use where keyword. So I'm using const keyword, and I'm giving magic, the function name, and I'm giving equal to, and there will be brackets where parameter will be assigned, and now I will be giving arrow, and I'm going to return new date. So I'm giving curly braces, and I'm giving return new date. Now I'm going to delete this. Press Ctrl Enter. Now what we are going to do is, we are going to add parameter, okay? Add parameter in the arrow function. So how to do it? Rewrite the myConcat function which appends contents of ARR2 to ARR1 so that the function uses arrow function syntax. So how to write it? So right here, okay, I'm using const keyword, and I'm going to give the function name, and I'm going to give equal to, and I'm going to give brackets, and I'm going to give arrow, and there will be curly braces. Okay, so in the previous exercise itself I told we should be writing parameters inside this bracket. So what are the parameters? ARR1 and ARR2. So we will be using ARR1 and ARR2, and inside the block we should be returning ARR1 dot concat of ARR2. So ARR2 will be added to the ARR1. That's it. Just delete this, press Ctrl Enter. Now what we are going to do is we will be setting default parameters for your functions. So normally what we will be doing is, for example, if I write a function, okay, function name, and then I'm having this, then what I will be doing is, for example, I am inserting a parameter called num, and I am just returning the num here. Okay, so normally what we will be doing is, when we are calling the function, we will be giving the argument. Okay, we will be passing the value of that parameter. Okay, we will be doing like this. But in ES6 there is a concept called default parameters, in which what we can do is we can assign the value inside the bracket itself. For example, num equal to 5. Okay, we can assign there itself. So that is what we are going to see now. I'll delete this. Modify the function increment by adding default parameter so that it will add 1 to number if value is not specified. So here you can see, here what they have done is, here in the bracket itself they have given the value. So this is called a default parameter. Okay, so let us do it. Here what they have told us, we should be giving value equal to 1. Okay, so just give equal to 1, press Ctrl Enter. So if the value is not given here, this will be taking the value as 1. Let us see how it works. For example, I am going to print this function, okay, console.log of increment function. So you can see NaN because I have not assigned value here. I am giving default parameter for number also. For example, I am giving number the value of 3, and now you will be seeing the output as 4. Okay, but when I am passing the value in the function, for example, here when I am calling the function, I am giving the value of 50 and 50. So which value it will take, whether the number will take the value of 3 or 50, whether the value will be taking 1 or 50. Okay, now what you can see in the result is 50 plus 50. So it will be taking the value which was passed, okay, when calling the function. So what is the use of default parameter? When we do not call this, okay, when we do not pass the value, this will be taking the value of default parameter. Okay, that is what the use of default parameter is. Press Ctrl Enter. Now we are going to see use the rest parameter with function parameters. So we are going to see rest parameters. Here we will be seeing what is the use of rest parameter. For example, let me write a code here. I am creating a function. Okay, I am creating a function. Normally what we will be doing is we will be assigning argument, okay, for example x comma y comma z, okay. And what if I have to return this? Return x comma y comma z. So I am just printing this function console.log of, actually I have to give function name here, function name, console.log of function name. So it is saying undefined, so I have to give value for x. Is it equal to 3? And here what I will be doing is, I am just adding this x plus y plus z. So you will be having the output of 6, okay. So what I have done here is, I have separately given parameters and I have returned this, okay. So that is what I have done. But what if I have to give multiple parameters, okay. So what I can do is, I just remove this, I can just give dot 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 args, okay. And I am going to return args dot length here. And I can give multiple values. For example, I can give arguments as 1, 2, 3. Actually, args dot length, okay, length is not a method, so delete that bracket. And now you can see, from here I can see I have passed one parameter and the args dot length is showing 1, okay. And I am going to pass another parameter and another parameter and another parameter and another parameter, okay, and another parameter. So what happens here is, if I put dot 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 args, I can pass any number of arguments, okay, inside the function. So that is what the concept of REST parameter is. So the usage of REST parameter is that you can pass any number of parameters without specifying the variable name for it, okay. For example, previously what we did was, I specified the variable name like this, so the parameter name like this. So like that we don't have to do, we just put dot 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 args, okay, that's it. Delete this. Modify the function sum using the REST parameter, okay, so that the function sum is able to take any number of arguments and return their sum. So this function should be taking any number of arguments. So how to do it? Just delete this and give dot 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 args, okay, and the sum of these arguments should be returned. So we have to delete this. Okay, they have specified what are the arguments x, y, z. Okay, that is not needed here. So this itself is enough for the solution. Okay, press Ctrl Enter. And only one thing which you have to remember here is, for passing any number of arguments, you have to use dot 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 args. Okay, that's it. Press Ctrl Enter. In this exercise, we are going to see two things. One is what is spread operator, okay, and another one is how to find the maximum value. For example, here we are having 4 values in an array. So how to find the maximum value? That is what we are going to learn today. Let us delete all these things. Now I am going to write an array. For example, const arr equal to 1, 2, 3, 4. Then what I am going to do is, I have to find the maximum value. So I'm going to use console.log of. Okay. In order to find maximum value, what we have to write is this method. Okay. So I'm just copying it, and you will be getting the output of 4. But what if I remove this dot? I'm just inserting the array variable name alone. What if I am inserting just the variable name alone? This will not work. Math.max will not work. Okay. So what we have to do is we have to pass the values alone here. For example, 1, 2, 3, 4. So I am just writing 1, 2, 3, 4. So 4 will be the maximum value. I have passed all the values here, okay, inside the bracket. So, but this is also a tedious process, because if you are copying it and pasting it, this is not the easiest way. So what we can do is we can give dot 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 and give the variable name. So give ARR. Okay. If you are writing like this using 3 dots and give the variable name, what will be happening is all the elements inside the array will be copied here. Okay. So that is what the spread operator is. Spread operator is nothing but using 3 dots, give the array name. So all the elements of the array will be imported here. Okay, that's it. So reset all code. Now what we have to do is copy all contents of ARR1 into another array ARR2 using the spread operator. Okay. So what we have to do is we have to copy all the content of the array 1 to array 2. So how to do it? Just you have to give a square bracket, and inside that square bracket you have to insert all the elements of the ARR1. So give dot 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 ARR1. Okay. So all the elements of the ARR1 will be stored in this array. Press Ctrl Enter. Next, use destructing assignment to extract values from object. So you have to notice this word, extract values from object. So how to extract values from objects? Use destructing assignment. Here they have given ES5 code. Okay. So what is ES5 code? There is an object called user, and name is having a value of John Doe and age is having the value of 34. So what they have done here is, again outside the object they have created a variable called const name and const age, and they are trying to store the value for the name, okay, by extracting it from the object, because in the object we have given the value for name and age. So they are trying to extract the value from the object and store it in the separate variables. That is what they are trying. So how to do it? For the variable, what we have to do is we have to give user dot name. So John Doe will be accessed, okay, and it will be stored. And for age we have to give user dot age. So the age will be stored. Actually this is ES5. So how to do it in ES6? So in ES6 there is a simple way. For example, we can declare the variable names inside the curly braces. For example, name comma age, and give equal to user. Okay, give the object name. So the value of name and age which is stored in the object will be now stored in separate variables of name and age. Okay, this is what ES6 is. So go to the exercise. Replace the two assignments with an equivalent destructing assignment. It still should assign the variables today and tomorrow, the values of today and tomorrow from high temperature. Okay. Here they have given an object which is having the value of yesterday, today and tomorrow. And this is ES5. Like this they have declared the value using ES5. They have assigned separate, they have declared separate variables of const today and const tomorrow and assigned with the values from the object. Okay. So how to write it in a short way using ES6? We have to use the keyword const and give curly braces, and we have to assign for only today and tomorrow. So give today and tomorrow as the variables, and then what you have to do is give equal to, and you have to give the object name. Okay. So what is the object name? High temperatures. High underscore temperatures. And give semicolon. That's it. So the value of 77 and 80 will be assigned to separate variables today and tomorrow. Okay, press Ctrl Enter. Now again use destructing assignment to assign variables from objects. Okay. So here what they have done here is this is ES6, sorry, this is an object which is having the value of name and age. Okay, John Doe and 34. And in the previous exercise we assigned the value of name and age to a separate variable using ES6. Okay. Now what we are going to do is we are not going to have the same variable name now. Instead of same variable name, we will be declaring another variable name. Okay, different variable name, and we will be assigning the value from the object. Okay, we will be extracting the value from the object and we will be assigning it. That is what we are going to do now. And here you can see high today, high tomorrow. So in the previous exercise what we did was we will be declaring the variable using const keyword, and we will be having curly braces, and we will be having today and tomorrow as the variable names, and we will give equal to, and we will give the object name. Okay. So what will happen now is, so let us print this console.log of today and tomorrow. So 77 and 80 will be assigned to separate variables of today and tomorrow. But what you can notice is we have given the same variable names as they are in the objects. Okay. But what if I have to give different variable name? So I have to give colon and I have to give different variable name. So what they have told here is we have to give high today. So give high today, and here high tomorrow. High tomorrow and high today. So delete this. Okay, you can change it. For example, high today, high tomorrow. Okay. So now you are extracting the values of today and tomorrow from the object, and we will be assigning it to a different variable name called high today and high tomorrow. So go ahead. Now we are going to use destructing assignment, okay, to assign variables from nested objects. So far what we have seen is just objects. But now we are going to access nested objects and we are going to extract the values. So how to do it? So here what they have done is, so here you can see there is an object called user, and inside that object another object is assigned. Okay, here you can see John Doe is an object which is inserted or nested inside another object. But now what we have to do is we have to access the values of age and email. Okay, we have to extract the values from values of age and email and we have to store it in separate variables. So how to do it? So we have to use const keyword, and here what they have done is they have inserted like an object. Okay, so John Doe is an object and they have given colon, and inside the curly braces they have given the age and email. Okay, the separate variable names which we have to use. So they have given age and email. So what if I want a different variable name? I just change it here. Okay, age colon user age, email colon user email. So just like what we did before, but only thing is if if these variables are nested inside another object, for example, here you can see John Doe, this age and email are nested inside an object which is inside another object. So how you have to access it? You have to give the object name here. Okay, that is what important here. So here what they have told us, we have to assign low today and high today. Okay, well, low today dot low and today dot high from local forecast. So we have to access low today and high today. Okay, low today and high today. So how to access it? So what is low today? We have to access this. Okay, the lowest temperature of today and the highest temperature of today. So we have to store it in the variables called low today and high today. How to do it? First of all, we have to give the const keyword and we have to give curly braces, and we have to specify in which object it is stored. For example, this low and high are stored inside another object, inside an object. Okay, this low and high are stored inside an object today, and this today is an object which is stored inside another object, that is called local forecast. So first of all we have to specify this object name today. Okay, so give today colon, and we have to give the variable names. What are the variable names that we are extracting? Low and high. So give low comma high. Okay, and finally we have to give the main object name, and that is local forecast. Just copy this and paste it here. And one more thing, we have to use different variable names. So give low today and high today. Press Ctrl Enter. Now we are going to use destructing assignment to assign variables from arrays. In this example, you can see const of square bracket a comma b equal to, there is an array they have given and they have printed the values of a and b. So from all these values 1 to 6, which value will be taken by a and b? 1 and 2. So how? Because if I specify a comma b, it will be taking the first two values, and if I am specifying a comma b comma c, it will be taking the first three values, and if I am specifying a b c d, it will be taking the four values. Okay, like that we can extract the values from array. And another example they have given here, a comma b comma, and they have left two spaces and then c. So which element will be taken? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Fifth element will be taken. So why? Because they did not, because they have left spaces here. So this will be counted. So 1, 2, 3, 4 and C will be the fifth. So it will be accessing the fifth one. Okay. So let us do it here. Below this. Okay. Const ARR equal to 1, 2, 3, 4. So what do I have to do if I have to access third? So what I can do is, here what they have done is, actually the mistake which I have committed is, I should not give array name here, okay. I have to give square bracket and I have to assign it like a separate variables. For example, a comma b, it means that a and b are like variables, okay, and it will be taking the first two values. So what if I have to access the fifth value? What I can do is just give comma here, okay, 2, 3, 4, and at the fifth I am going to give e, and I am going to print console.log of e, okay. So it will be taking the values of 5. So it is counted as e as the fifth value because I have left 4 spaces with commas. So that is how we have to access. Now what we are going to do is, what they have told is a should get the value of b and b should get the value of a. So how to do it? So I am just going to give square bracket and I am going to give a comma b, okay, and I am going to give equal to, and I am going to give square bracket and I am going to give b comma a. It means that a comma b equal to b comma a means that a will be taking the value of b and b will be taking the value of a, okay, that's it. And we don't have to give value for a and b because already we have declared the value. So when I am printing this console.log of a comma b, now the values are changed to 6 comma 8 and not as 8 comma 6, okay. Press Ctrl Enter. You can see this example, const of array a comma b comma dot 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 arr equal to 1 2 3 4 5 6 7, okay, 5 7, and they have printed the values of a and b, and obviously it will be taking the first two values and they are printing arr. So what are the values that will be taken by arr? The values other than a and b, okay. The rest of the values will be taken as ARR. So first two values will be omitted and all the rest values will be taken, okay. So that is how we are using rest parameter. And in this what they have said is, Use destructing assignment with the rest parameter to perform an array.prototype.slice method so that ARR is a subarray of the original array source with the first two elements omitted. Okay, let me explain it in a good way. Okay, so what they have done here is this function will be taking list as a parameter. Okay, so source is the array which will be passed as the list. Okay, here we are having source, an array. Okay, we are having an array called source, and that array, this source array, will be passed as the list. So here the list is nothing but this array. Okay, this list is nothing but this array. Okay, but what they have told is that array should be passed with the first two elements omitted. Okay, so the first two elements should not be passed here. Okay, should not be stored in this variable. Only the rest values should be stored in this array. So how to do it? And also here you can see return ARR. Okay, it will be returning an ARR. So this ARR should be having the rest values of this array, omitting the first two elements. So this ARR should be having the rest of the values, omitting the first two values. So what we can do here is we can create an array. Okay, and we can give two values, for example a comma b, and we can give dot 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 ARR like this. Okay, like this. So give one more dot. Okay, so the first two values will be a and b, and the rest of the values will be dot 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 ARR. Okay, the rest values of the list. This list is nothing but this array. Okay, actually here what happens is I have just taken this as like this. Okay, but instead of this array I have given just the name, variable name. So that is list here. Okay, so this list is nothing but the source. That's it. So a and b will be taking the first two values, and the rest of the values will be taken as ARR. Okay, that's it. Now press Ctrl Enter. Actually this is very simple. Go use destructuring assignment within the argument to the function half to send only max and min inside the function. So what we have to do is we have to send this max value of the object and the min value of the object as the arguments. So how can we do it? By simply using curly braces, we can give max comma min. Okay, and here also change it, max, and here it is min. Okay, so by giving curly braces, okay, by giving curly braces and inserting the keyword name max and min, the properties, the properties, we can access them. Okay, so that's it. Press Ctrl Enter. So this is very simple. So you can see create strings using template literals. Okay, template literals. Remember this name, okay? Template literals. Whenever someone is saying template literals, you have to remember that. So what is template literal? Template literals allow you to create multi-line strings and to use string interpolation features to create strings. So consider the code below. There is an object and there are names and age. So there is a name property here which is Zodiac Hasbro. And here what they have done is they have created an variable and they have inserted a string called hello my name, and what they have done is they have used this person.name here. So where is person.name? This is what person.name is, okay? If you have to access the name property of this object, what you have to do is you have to give object name and you have to give dot name, okay? So you can access this. So what if I have to access this inside a string, because this whole thing is considered as a string because it is inserted inside double quote, okay? So how to access the value? We have to use dollar and we have to use curly braces, okay? That's it. So Zodiac Hasbro will be inserted here and 56 will be inserted here, okay? That's it. So use an iterated method, any kind of loop to get the desired output shown below. So what they have told here is we have to use any iteration method, okay, and we have to get the desired output shown below. We have to get this output. So for this exercise, what I have done is I have written the code and I am going to be explaining it, okay? So this is the output we have to get, and you can see this is a template, okay? This is a template, and what we have done is we have inserted different names on this template, different words on this template, and you can be seeing it. This nowhere, where on top and line break are all inserted in this object. So where they are inserted? Here you can see nowhere, where on top and line break. So we have to use for loop in order to access this array, okay? Access this array and iterate each item. So using for loop, we are going to access each item of this array and we are going to insert on this template, okay? So how to do it? And one more thing you have to understand here is these three lines, these three strings, actually these are all three separate strings, okay, that are stored inside an array. So we have to push it into an array, okay? Every single string has to be pushed into the array. So that is also you have to understand. So we are going to do it now, okay? So first of all, what I am going to do is I am going to create an empty array, and that empty array is nothing but this, okay? And inside this array we are going to add three separate strings, and then I am going to use for loop. So why we are using for loop? We are using for loop just to access this particular array, okay, just to access the separate items of this particular array, okay? So for that we are using array, sorry, for that we are using for loop. And how to access this for loop? How to access this array? Using the index. So I have to give the index value in the for loop. So what is the starting index of any array? 0. So I am giving let I equal to 0. And what is the index of the last item of the array? And that is nothing but I less than or equal to arr dot length minus 1. Okay. You can write in the way I have written before, otherwise you can write like this also. Okay, both are same. You can write like this also. Arr dot length minus 1 is nothing but the index of the last element of the array. Okay, I have explained it in the previous basic JavaScript itself. If you do not know, go and check all those videos. Okay, if you know basic JavaScript well, and these things will be very easy. And inside the block, what I am going to do is I am going to insert the strings. Okay, this string, particular these three strings into the array. So we are having empty array here, and I am going to push it. So I am giving the array name, and I am going to push. Okay, I am going to push this particular string. Okay, this particular string, but these three strings are having the same template, only this value changes. So what I have to do is I am going to be inserting this common template, and I am going to be changing this value alone. So I have inserted this common template, okay, this common template, and I am going to be changing just this using dollar curly brace and array of index I. Okay, so why we are using dollar curly brace? Because inside the string, if you have to insert some code, what you have to do is you have to give dollar and curly brace. Okay, like this, how we have done here. So I am accessing the array of index I. So if the I is 0, if the I equal to 0, if the I is 0, it will be accessing the first element of the array. So which array? Here we can see I have given array ARR. Okay. So what is the value of ARR? The value of ARR is given in the parameter. So I can see here ARR. Okay. So the value for the ARR is passed here when calling the function. So what is the value of ARR? Result.failure. And what is result.failure? You can see the object name result, and dot failure means the failure object which is nested inside the result. Okay. So result dot failure is nothing but this. Result is the object and failure is the property of that, and the value of the result dot failure is this. Okay. So if I am having the index of 0, I equal to 0, it will be accessing nowhere, and it will be pushing it into the array. And index of 1, where on top, it will be pushing where on top into the array. And index of 2, line break, it will be pushing line break into the array. So you can see nowhere, where on top, and line break are pushed into the array. Okay. So that's it. Press Ctrl Enter. So now we have to see object property shorthand, and I would like to conclude this session. We will be seeing object property shorthand from the next video. Okay. So thank you for watching my videos, friends, and please do subscribe. Thank you for watching. Let us see in the upcoming videos. Thank you.